Well, there you are again. Charlie Greer podcast. I do this every day. Today, do people love to be conned? Do people just love a con man? Obviously, they do because they're everywhere. Con men are it. So con, C-O-N, uh, short for confidence. People get your confidence, lure you in under the guise of. Unfortunately, we are surrounded by these people. We're like pickled, submerged in. Nowadays, all you got to do is throw on a nice looking suit and a tie and you've a briefcase. Hey, people love to be conned. People are insecure. Me, you, everybody. You can overcome these fears, but people's biggest fears are death, number one, and the second one is talking in public, speaking in public. You would think I was a singer in band forever, so it's like you would think no, most people. Oh no, God, no, that's it. And I used to be that way too before I overcame it. When I was a kid, you're in like elementary school, junior high. Okay, stand, Charles. Say you're like, oh, you got to get over that. Most people won't. Most people do not face their fears. They're too insecure. Honestly, people don't even know what they like. They don't even know who they are. They're just contrary. That's how they get their power or like confidence is being contrary. Oh, it's this way. No, it's not. So, how you spot a con man, confidence man or person? Women can con too. Come on. There's tells. Uh, usually a lot. Usually you can't talk to you're not going to get through that con. A guy like me, I can't. They can't have me around. Oh, they start lying, and I've known a lot of con men. We all do. We're surrounded by these people. Most people that you see that's doing well, they're a con. Again, it's like a light con. It isn't like but yeah, they're con their way in anything. Um, So you have a con man, and then you'll have these contrary people around them. Well, that's it. That's just human nature. Going on since the beginning of time. People love to be conned. It's like a pacifier. It's like a warm blanket. It's their happy place. You can't have people. Again, people are contrary. That's another thing as old as time. What does a baby do? They shake their head no. We all. Nobody's exempt. I'm not excluding myself. Again, you got to get over certain things. You got to get over certain fears. You got to do like personal inventories and this, that, and the other. But nowadays, it seems like it's out of control. Con men are everywhere. Everything we do, you turn on the news. Like say, people go to school. Like say the news, or the weather, the whatever you're watching. There's this kind of talk you got it. That's a con. Nobody talks like that, and it's across the board. Well, that's the norm. We need you to. Nobody has any style. Again, everybody's wearing suits and ties and this cons. Everything I've ever tried to do, whether it's get a job or get my band, my movie, my book, my act, here comes a comment. Or women, I should say, because women can con too. I'm sure dogs do it too, because my little dog will con the other dog I have and steal his bones. It's a con. And then she's contrary. I mean, she's not saying anything. I can tell her she's looking. Yeah, I mean, you get you. There's say if I was like booking, gigs and clubs and stuff with my old bands. 9 times out of 10, it's usually someone who like at the club. Usually, if they're really arrogant, they book it themselves. They don't have a booker. A lot of them have got money from like family or something like this. That that's how they could get the club. The worst is the girlfriend of the owner is now the booker. He's like, oh my god. I mean, you can get to. They're not getting again. It's hey, it's what it is. Con men. I mean, everywhere. Look around. Turn on the news. Turn on anything. Walk down the street. You're going to see these people. There's more con than there are like regular, genuine people. Unfortunately, I know that's just my humble opinion. Um, I think people do love to be conned. And if you read some of these ancient books, that's like what they're talking about. People are conned. It is, again, their pacifier, their warm blanket. Oh my God. People are confident. They're confident in their insecurities. Have you noticed that? You try to like pump somebody up or talking to them, they're like, no, dad, but they're their insecurities they're really confident about. Oh, it's just me. I did. Come on. A lot of times you're not going to reach these people. Don't waste your time. And again, you're not going to solve it's this. That's what people are. That's what they do. It defines most people. I have told people, try to warn them, like, look, man, I'm backing out of this situation because he's a con man. What do you mean, man? It's a Jew. You're always see. Okay, fine, fine. For sling mud, whatever you do. Usually, it takes a lot of time. 10 years later, this guy's in jail. Then they contact you. Dang, you were right. Like, what? That was 10 years ago. You didn't know. Well, how was I supposed? I told you. You don't have an intuition. You don't have a gut feeling. What happened? Is that why they put fluoride and everything? Fluoride will kill your intuition. Um, Everywhere. Policemen, politicians, everybody. Chefs. I mean, it's everywhere. This food's great. You taste it. You're like, oh my God, did you even season this? Don't talk to me that way. I'm the chef. Are you? I mean, again, you're trying to con me into saying that you are, but musician, everybody, they're everywhere. And it seems like that's the new cool to be con man. Hey, it's sad. You can't damn near get anything done. Certain people, it's easy to con, you know. Others, again, they're really good at business. They're really good at their social skills. They want to, a lot of times they'll like say when I was in Hollywood and I was acting, going to auditions, there's a con speak, they're like, oh, you're not too talented, are you? Question mark. So it doesn't matter what you what did it doesn't matter what I say. I'd always catch them on it. Out. Yeah, good riddance, man. I don't want to shit. Everybody is a con. Outsourcing. I'm this. I'm a producer. I'm the manager. I'm the but then they outsourced everything. A lot of directors in Hollywood who, oh, he's the best. They're successful too. They outsource everything. That's how businesses ran. It's on a con. Everything's a con. I mean, you can't wrap your head around that. I don't know what to say, but uh, actors are cons. Nowadays, people get, I mean, the acting is so horrible. It's the same looking people. They got an agenda. Where's all the haggard face, the characters and no, you got to be on a keto diet and whatever. Try to, and people defend. Try to explain to someone you're being conned. Well, I've warned people about cons, and 20 years, nobody. I've never seen these people again. They were close to me. They sided with the con person, who of course ends up in jail or whatever they do. It's sad. In these criminal cases I follow, there's con men everywhere. People are being conned. The paranormal stuff I watch, the cons. Everybody, man. Bigfoot investigators. I mean, they're all just. Then they go after the people that are in the field. Have you seen these? Like, watch a Bigfoot documentary or whatever, you'll see this fat dude who, okay, yeah, they'll take him out to the woods and let him walk down a dirt road and when, oh, he's just behind a and he gets all the attention when the dude that's out there in the woods, like doing all these other stuff, they know they, and then they'll turn it around. They'll project, oh, he's the, uh, how can you get through that? Well, you got to realize it's there. You got to keep doing what you're doing, the follow through. Again, you're gonna be sometimes. Hey, if you're in a certain position, you might want a con or two and layers of them so that you don't get to deal with. They're really good at deflection. Um, are you a con man? Question mark. Am I a con man? Question mark. No. Huh? But they again, mark my word, try. We all know these people. And it's just you can't get away from it. It's maybe you don't want to think about it because it might bring you down and make you reality slap you in the face. But most people in their life have been held down. And you know these people, even the simple con, like they're conning you, like they claim to be your friends, like, oh yeah, hi, there you are. Oh, uh-huh. And then you hear about an hour or two later, man, it's all you guys talking. And when he came up to us, he called you everything but a like, what? He's supposed to be my friend. I've known him since I was a kid. Well, you've been conned. And I'm not talking about James Con. Is he? Is that a tell? Maybe. Most people in anything at a certain level are cons. That's just my humble opinion. Because they have to have people, go getters and outsourcing. They just tell you. I interviewed with Sony Records when I was teaching vocal lessons and produced this, that, and Hollywood Records was owned by Disney. I think it was the Disney guy, one of the biggest con men I ever met, in a horrible suit. He didn't know anything about any art or anything. He just outsourced. He had people surrounding. I'm there. Look at me, And we were supposed to have a second interview, and he didn't show up. And they're like, well, then maybe wait. Well, let's pick another day. And I just lit into it. I'm like, no, man. They're like, how could you say no? Well, I am. Hollywood, who gives a shit? It won't be around if you keep. And sure enough, are they? Is Hollywood Records still a thing? Is Sony still a thing? Because they need someone with a little bit of talent, a little wherewithal to do. They have to outsource. They can't do. They can't. How many times I've sat down with people, like even in the music, and they're like, "Is this any good? Is this music good? I need to know." That's why the record labels had A&R people. They needed someone to tell them because they didn't. All they know is the con. Is this music good? You can't hear. I don't believe my lying ears. Lying ear. So you need someone like me to be like, yeah, it's good. Then you can con the con man. Like, yeah, this is great. Put this out. Put all your money in all your eggs in one basket. So it goes both ways. Certain people are emotionally and intellectually more sophisticated, so they can pick up this shit. Again, you're going to be, oh no, not me. That's the first thing about people that they're being conned, is they know it all. They relish in their ignorance even. Those people, they're confident and they're like, well, I don't know about this, but see, it's like, you don't know. Listen to what you just said. No, I didn't. You can't, again, we need more mental health. Shit. Because these things could be rectified if people would just, but then no. They don't want to. It's a plan. In my humble opinion, it's a plan. They need this kind of stuff. Again, crazy people, there is no explanation for crazy. It just is. Narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths, they don't have an end game. It's not like, well, see, here when by the time I'm at this step. No. They'll drag everybody down. And if they do get cornered, it's, oh, well, I just, police, politicians, musicians, actor, you name it, businessmen, religious, everybody. People think they need to be told what to do. You don't have any, huh? Education. People think that you have to be told something to be smart. Really? I mean, I get it. You got to, follow a recipe or whatever, oh, study. But there's just people that just know. Matter of fact, nowadays they're saying nothing is learned, it's unlocked. You don't learn anything, it's already in there. You just have the confidence to have the follow through, believe in it, and boom, you got it. They need people to be on the teat, so to speak. Again, my humble opinion. I'm just a amateur hour YouTuber. Um, yeah, they need you on the teat. Yeah, I need someone to help me, tell me what the. And of course, they strut off like that. Come on, man. Usually, when you get older, it's usually too late when you realize this information. Like, oh, damn, people waste their life, their time around these people. There's always, see, the longer you go without getting caught on your con, the worse it's going to be. You might as well get it over with, or change your ways, whatever. Or can you? It's like the frog and the scorpion story. He's just that's what he does. I mean, shit. We've all been conned. Matter of fact, right now we're all being conned, one way or another. It could be, who knows? There's a myriad of shit. Think about it. Have you done a personal inventory on yourself? I had to die all the time. People want to emotionally, intellectually, whatever change. It starts with you. If you want to learn something, it starts with you. You don't need to. I mean, granted, go take classes and this. And that. I get that too, but uh, like say everybody has to work for a living, like an 8-hour shift, some 12 hours, but 8-hour shift. Have you ever worked on something on yourself or whatever you want to do for 8 hours? Have you ever dedicated yourself to something as much as you've done a job? Or is that even in the realm of thought? Like, why would I want to do that? Can you even understand that? When I was coming up doing my bands, I realized this. Granted, I had my grandfather tell me, hey, man, you got to, so I was working a full time job, 40 hours a week, then probably putting in another 40 hours on myself. That's how I succeeded. I wasn't looking for anybody. Everybody thinks it's like luck. You got lucky, which does happen. But that's only going to take you so far. They thought Einstein was crazy. He's Einstein. Read the book about Walt Disney. He talks about these cons. He talks about like every level he got to. They're like, oh, you just got lucky. You just got, and he got to a certain level where there's only certain banks he could deal with. And these people didn't want to deal with them. He's like, well, you have to if you want to open up your big place in Florida or wherever. And again, they would never give him credit. They would always like, oh, see, you're just that. Not even as he's making them wealth. I mean, like they still couldn't. No. Why would they? That's how they get by. They can't show that. That's a no. Kindness is not a weakness. Intelligence is not a weakness. Most people nowadays, it's like they hold down the intellectuals just so these nutnicks don't feel offended because fuck. It's everywhere. Most people that are speaking out and talking, I mean, again, in these simple situations, uh, aren't the brightest bulbs and, they're everywhere. Everybody, all the news people you see, again, they have to do that talk. Hey, radio people, hey, morning, zoo. Why would they talk that way? Why would everybody why would they dictate that you have to speak a certain way? Subconsciously, if they don't even know, they know it's because you people are easily conned. These people that are will eat you alive if you're not conning them. I get it. That's how you kind of control people. This is ancient wisdom. This is an unconscious knowledge. It should be, but uh, this is the world we live in. It isn't gonna change. I mean, you can dilly dally around a few, obstacles, but you're gonna be dealing with uh, and you've all know everybody has dealt with this. People that get conned the most are the ones. Oh, not me. No, I would never be. Yeah, hell, you don't even know. You don't even know yourself. People are looking around at the most like domineering personality to follow. They're like the Pied Piper. These people like, and here comes these people with insecurity. Oh my god. That's why in the world, like certain people, generations of their family, they've never started a business. They just work and this, that, and the other. Then there's others, generations, that's all they do is start businesses. You understand what I'm saying? That's just how it is. The law of averages, though, dictates certain things. The odds dictate certain things. Go to Vegas. That's all it's the whole business uh is about that. You're being conned. You go to these casinos, there's not a clock around. Why? They don't want you to know. No, 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 no. Know what time it is. It looks the same too. That lighting, it always looks the same. So no matter it's day, night, whatever, you can't tell. If they kept you in there, you'd be going nuts eventually. Um, Again, and that's why it was illegal. That's why it is illegal to do gambling and stuff like that. It's a con. These boardwalk schemes and stuff like that. In Vegas, it's legal to have gambling, but it's like again the odds, and it's people love it. They relish in it. They want to be conned. Again, this is my personal opinion, my humble opinion. I could be wrong. Perhaps, maybe. Again, it's sad. I don't I don't think most people can wrap their head around this. Uh I'm outspoken, meaning I will like not I'm not mean. Matter of fact, I'm pretty quiet and shy until somebody comes at me contrary, confidence game, this, that, and that. What pisses me off the most is they would think that they could get away with it. Forget about their con. I'm like, you're talking to, right? You don't. Well, no, huh? The best thing to do is turn it around on them with a series of interrogating questions. Have you noticed that too? The conversations nowadays are just an interrogation with questions. Well, why did you do that? Why did you, huh? Why did you want to do, can we have a conversation without you? I was just trying, now you're interrogating me with all these con questions. The most basic con that's probably like the most, prevalent is people projecting their insecurities onto you. Meaning like someone saying like, you can't do that. Dude, that's you telling yourself that. I am doing this. What do you mean can't? You are telling yourself that. If you're not emotionally evolved enough, then I can't explain it to you. You probably won't get it until you're like 70, laying there all haggard, cankled up, and you're like, man, I shouldn't have. Yeah, that's coming. I suggest go live your life, do the arts, get away from all this, and it's getting worse. It's gonna get this younger generation, man. I feel for them. I'm a kid from the 70s and a teenager of the 80s. It was awesome. I feel for people that have to live in this day and age, the younger generation. Also, people my age, how they've changed, how they're just like, okay, fine. I guess they just kind of like, all right, well, okay. I might as well just, you know, waller in the con. Again, it's confidence. That's what con stands for, confidence. They should teach this in school. They should teach farming. They should teach, now, they want busy bees and busy workers that are smart enough just to run the machines, but not, they're they're dumb enough. They have to figure it out. They're not gonna. And I don't step out of line. And again, this is forever. People think they need to be told. I'm like, I'm the kind of person just like there should be more like local government. We don't need. Do you really? Have you seen the roads lately? What is huh? Not taking care of one another, not knowing your neighbors. Again, these people think that like I wish I couldn't read people like I can because it's just oh man. Sometimes it gets lonely because I'm not speaking up about it. I won't go up to people like, "Excuse me, yeah, I'm onto your no, I don't want to deal with anybody. I would rather not. Go ahead, change all you want. You following the fool. Just follow that fool because that's most people all they know. That's all they know, and you won't be able to, confront because again, in birds of a feather stick together, like my grandma used to say. And then you're just surrounded. It's shit. I mean, how are you going to change human behavior, especially if it's led by sad con men and women and people and whoever? You're not gonna. That's why you have to just like trudge ahead, get through it. Don't let people catch them on there. Don't be mean. Turn it around on them. Start using their projection on them through a series of interrogating questions. Well, you're nosy, aren't you? Why would you Why would you need to know that? Question mark. Yeah. Don't answer. Answer with questions. Mirror them. It's a sale. That's all I do is mirror people. Unless it's a conversation. People have see the art of the conversation gone. We're living in the creative dark ages right now. There is nothing. It's just they want us bogged down with all this agenda and politics and all this stuff, and it's hard. It's hard to keep your head above water. It's gonna get worse. It's just a cycle. See, a circle. Man, in LA, it is full of con men and women. There was I lived in Arcadia and on First Street, they have all these like, MMA, and fitness, this, that. This one guy on the corner, he was fat and lazy and he was always on his phone and eating. And he taught fitness. And there was a bench there, and I'd just sit on the bench like, dude, this guy, huh? And I'd watch him, and he'd take okay, run 5 laps around here and come back and talk to me. Then he'd get on his phone, his computer, like it's just eating Skittles and chips, and he is sweating and just overweight. And these people didn't. Oh, thank you so much. You've changed my life. He's out of shape, don't you think? Huh? Maybe he is the smart one. I mean, shit. And during COVID, all these other places are closing. Well, he was doing better business than anybody. And I talked to the one guy, man, he was another dude. He was built, he was svelte, he was in shape. He had all this equipment, this, that, and the other. He went out of business. Nobody wanted, no, no, no. And he's the con man. He doesn't, dude, he's an ex-military. No. Go to the morbidly obese guy. Musicians too. Actors, business people, religious people. They're all, not everybody, but most of the time, if you get to that's all you're dealing with. And behind closed doors, don't you? But you better believe that they laugh. They look at us like ants. They don't, they again following the fool. Where should I go? Should I be? Yeah, do it. Yeah, see. Right now they're conning us about eating bugs. Yeah, crickets are tasty. Just ground them up and make them look like a hamburger. Add some like garlic powder and onion powder and a little bit of Worcestershire. Oh, it's great. Bugs. My grandparents, if they were alive, try to get them to eat a bug burger. Well, they'd want to. You wouldn't want to know. We're being dumbed down. They're weaponizing ignorance. They're going after the intellectuals under the guise of, oh no, see, follow the, trust. Pardon me. Is that what we should do? What about trust your intuition, trust your gut? No, no, don't do that. You see, you don't believe your lying brain, your lying gut, your lying intuition. It'll lie to you. Most people don't know what to do in the simplest thing. Oh, what should I do? I don't know. And try to like pull you down with their no. I do this many times. You know, I always succeed. I just keep doing what I do. I don't let it bog down. Again, this is ancient knowledge. There's always a sinful debt to pay, a karmic debt. If you internalize some of this stuff, you have to pay. No, 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 no. Turn it around. They will have to pay that karmic debt. You internalize it and you think, oh, no, my God. And the next thing you know, you're worried that then here comes the debt you have to pay when someone else did it to you. You would think people would know this. You think they would teach us in school? No, of course not. Get back to work. Your minimum wage job. Where? Yeah, it's sad. Again, humble opinion. I don't know. I could, I'm human. Well, I love y'all. I do this every day. I rant like a madman, shit. So I'll be here tomorrow. And I talk about everything in my podcast. You just never know. Well, I love y'all. Be blessed. Cheers.